shy baby. It's fancy seeing you here. And you may be wondering where I've been. I've been gone for like 2 months, I know. But before I tell you, let me explain what's going on. This is my new podcast. And I know everyone in the entire world wants a podcast. Add one more. I want one now. As you can tell, this podcast is going to be called After Hours because it's supposed to feel like a late night talk. That's why, the sun is still out. We're having a sleepover. On this podcast, I'm going to tell you like personal stories. Maybe I'll give you some advice. Maybe I'll inspire you. I'll probably inspire you to put your phone down. So there's going to be 3 segments. I didn't name any of them like creatively. I'm just going to read some notes from my notes app because a girl's notes app is a battlefield for sure. So I'm going to share some of those with you, which is basically just bearing my soul to you. And then I'm also going to tell you some current hyperfixations. No more explanation needed. The last one is called Afterthought. I'm going to explain what that is at the very end of the episode, so stay tuned for that. Let's just start with the segments, and then I'm going to tell you where I've been, what I've been doing, and all of that. And I know this is a lot to spring on you at once if you're not a new person to my channel. Welcome to my podcast, I guess. The first one says, Monday equals coquette, Tuesday equals hot mess, mental breakdown, maybe a crisis. That was the dumbest way for me to say that one day I feel fine, the next day I'm having a breakdown. Pinterest can make any dream come true. I fully believe this with my whole heart. I have like Pinterest boards with like hundreds of notes, and they're all just like my hopes and dreams. How cooked do you have to be to watch an edit compilation on a road trip? I can tell you firsthand. That's what I do on road trips. I watch edits. That's what I do, always. The millennials were onto something when they said, don't talk to me before I've had my coffee. I felt that in my heart, how embarrassing it is to say that out loud, but it's true. I'm just like so pissed off when I wake up and then I have my coffee and then I'm fine. Sorry, millennials, you get a point for this one. I have multiple current hyperfixations for this episode because I've been gone for 2 months, and the hyperfixations, they come and go very fast. ASMR. Specifically baking ASMR or like the roleplay ASMR. The ones that are like, girl in the back of the class plucks your eyebrows. I love falling asleep to those. I'm like out in literally 2 seconds when I watch ASMR. Not my ASMR, if you can even call it that. They were definitely something. Then I've been hyperfixating on a Monster High makeover game. Yes. It's self-explanatory. You just give Monster High dolls makeovers. Yeah. Old YouTube. This brought back a lot of inspiration. I was watching the videos that made me want to start a YouTube channel as a kid, so that was great. I was cleaning my grandpa's house. I was listening to a podcast. I'm pretty sure it was Curtis Connor's podcast. Really good. All of a sudden, I just got like a surge of inspiration and ideas. I was like, okay, maybe I should start a podcast. And I know everyone in the entire world has thought that. But listen, hear me out. I thought about starting a podcast before. I thought about it with my sisters. They might see this and be like, what about us? What about us? And I'll be like, come on, let me know if you want my sisters on. And even if you don't, too bad for you, they're coming on. I was like, okay, I actually really want to do this though. I know that we don't need more podcasts. Everyone move aside though, because it's my turn to start one. It just felt really amazing to like get all of those ideas and all of that inspiration because I'd kind of been in a creative rut secretly that I did not want to admit that to myself. I will get more into that. I just have a lot to say, so much so that these episodes are going to be 24 hours long. I have a lot on my mind, and I feel like this is a better way to connect with you more than just like my regular videos. I just started getting like all of these ideas. I was like, what would I call it? Like, what would I talk about? What segments would I have? I just felt so excited about it, and I felt so sure of myself. I was like, I literally have to do this. I couldn't wait to finish cleaning my grandpa's house and run and go start a podcast. Like, literally. When I took a break from YouTube, I knew that I needed something that would bring my inspiration back, and this really, really felt like something that would do it. I like just sitting and talking because I have a lot in my mind. Yeah, I also just wanted to kind of change things up from my usual videos. Those will continue, but I kind of rethought what videos I wanted to make, which I will also get into that later. I also wanted to like tell stories and express myself more in that way. That is basically why I started this podcast, for inspiration and a new creative endeavor per se. I usually film videos on Fridays, which is actually when my videos go up. I felt like super unmotivated that day. Like I would literally have rather died than pick up the camera and like be silly and make jokes because I was just super tired and I was like, there's absolutely no way I'm touching that camera. So then I decided to film on Monday because I was like, I literally have to film a video this week and get a video up because I just put a lot of pressure on myself. And I'm like a very motivated person. Like I'm very good at keeping myself motivated and having discipline and all of that. So it was really weird to like not have motivation. That sounds so like I'm never unproductive. I'm perfect. I just felt very off. I looked through all my video ideas and I was like, all of these sound terrible. Then I started vlogging on Monday, but I felt really off. I could not have felt less inspired to film, but I was doing it kind of out of obligation, and I felt really overwhelmed with doubt. I was asking myself, like, does anyone actually care? And, like, why am I even making videos anyways? Like, I kind of just lost sight for why I was doing it because I've only missed, like, 3 weeks in like a year. So it was just kind of like something that became part of my routine. I just kind of like lost sight of why I started doing it in the first place, if that makes sense. I lost sight of why I love doing it so much because it was just like, I have to film a video on Friday and then I have to edit it throughout the week and then I have to make it go up on Friday. I thought that I was tired because I had just woken up, but I was actually extremely burnt out. One of my flaws is that if I'm like super tired, needing a break, I do not want to admit that, and I don't want to give myself a break because I always want to be going, and reaching for the next goal. I literally think 10 years in the future, and I'm like, I have to reach for a goal that is literally something that's probably going to happen in like 5 to 10 years. Watching it back, that was a few months ago, and I'm like, literally, I feel like a different person. But I could literally barely get myself to speak in that video, let alone make jokes. The video was just like mostly silent. When I was speaking, I had no energy. I'm gonna decide what place to do my homework. Every single clip I filmed, I was so self-deprecating. I just got like more discouraged with every single clip that I filmed. So I stopped filming to join my Zoom class. I was just like kind of reflecting on the clips I filmed and being like, there's literally no way that this is gonna go on YouTube because I haven't said a single thing in this video. And the only thing I've said, I was like, I'm gonna make breakfast now. And yeah, obviously I started crying because I just like hated all the clips that I filmed and I felt so upset over it. So then I just reflected on the big picture and I was like, oh, so it's not just this one video. I was actually like completely burnt out and it had been building up for a few months, honestly. I was just like fed up with feeling stuck and unmotivated and like doing the same thing over and over and over because that's what I've been doing for months on YouTube. I was tired of every video I was making and I didn't want to admit that to myself, which is why I kept doing it. It took an absolute breaking point for me to realize that I didn't like making those videos. I was also putting a lot of pressure on myself in like every aspect of my life, like school, work, YouTube. Those are the only aspects of my life. I was just like really overworking myself. I had just started a new semester of school in January and there was way more homework than my other semester. I was making videos that I didn't like, by the way. I also had literally just started a new job. Whoa, I was out of energy. And I needed to desperately release my emotions in some way, but I was by myself. So I told ChatGPT, as one does, okay? It told me like take a break to like reevaluate, and you know what, maybe I need to start relying on my own brain instead of ChatGPT. So as soon as I read the words break, it literally felt like my eyes were like opened and a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I'm like, whoa, like I've never thought of taking a break before. That was a little bit sarcastic, but also it was not sarcastic because I don't give myself a break. Ever since I did Vlogmas this year, I literally was only doing one more video a week, but I completely burned myself out. I was busy with school and like I was trying to bang out the videos as fast as I could. I was overworking myself ever since Vlogmas, and it just got worse and worse, like, every month. I was like, no, like, I still love YouTube. But every time I would think about it, I would be like, there was one video I literally worked for like over 20 hours on, which is more than usual for me. I know a lot of people, like, every video takes that long, but not for me. And I just lost so much sleep, and that was the beginning of my second semester, so I had so much more homework. And the video, like, didn't really do as well as I thought. Not to complain and be annoying. I was hoping the video would do really well because it took me so long, and my eyes were like bloodshot from staring at my screen and not getting any sleep. It was my 1 year special, if you're wondering. That video took so much out of me. But I actually ended up liking the video, so it was worth it. It doesn't matter if it does well. Like, I liked the video. I almost just said this breaking point was a breaking point. This was a breaking point because I'd just been in a slump regarding YouTube for a long time. Literally, I didn't want to admit to myself that I needed a full factory reset until I felt like the only way to get past the way I was feeling was to, like, fully reset. I laid out a plan for how I would get my spark back, per se. So first I deleted Instagram and TikTok. Then I told you guys that I was going to work on myself. I didn't want to just like disappear completely from YouTube and not say anything, but I didn't feel the need to explain myself. When I was off social media, my mind was so much clearer. My attention span improved so much. And literally before this, even if all I was doing was taking a sip of water, I'd be like, hold on, I need background noise. And I've been a lot more present, which I've been working on still, but I want to read you a journal entry that I wrote because this is just me trying to be more present, okay? My armpits are really sweaty. It's probably a biohazard. I just realized that I don't want to read this, but I'm going to. Rereading your journal entries is the most humiliating thing ever because who did I think I was? Sylvia Plath? But let me read it. I'm sitting outside, laying in the grass, appreciating the beauty of this moment. No distractions. Silence. Clear skies. Flowers. Green grass. On my feet. The sun warming my skin. I feel so comforted and protected. I feel so present and relaxed. How have I ever let myself miss this? There's a slight breeze and the birds are chirping. I am so grateful for this life. Okay, period. But also, who do you think you are? Like, I felt super grounded and present. So that was like what this break was all about. I'm only gonna use social media to post. So you should follow my TikTok and subscribe. I'm only gonna use it to post and watch edits. I did not miss social media at all, and like it literally just only makes me feel worse. Why am I just discovering putting my phone down? I don't know, but I just really needed to disconnect from other people's lives online and connect to my own. Social media, it's not worth your time unless you're watching my videos. Something humiliating that happened to me was, but somehow I thought of Coachella, and I love viewing Coachella from afar. So I was like, what did they wear this year? So I re-downloaded Instagram just to see what people wore to Coachella. Like, you have to be kidding me. It was such a waste of time. It made me have that feeling when you go on social media and you're like, why am I not doing this? Why am I not doing that? But let me give you a news flash, baby girl. Social media is a highlight reel of everyone's life. Nobody is actually that perfect, so next time you go on Instagram and you start to compare yourself, shut up. I did re-delete it, and I also re-downloaded TikTok yesterday to watch edits. I'm sorry. That was such a tangent. Back to the actual... I literally almost just threw up. Back to what I was actually talking about. So I made a plan to do things that made me feel good. I really honed in... Is that a word? It is now. On prioritizing my sleep because I was looking back and my eyes were like bloodshot. Like, I did not look good. So I was like, I need to prioritize sleep. I really do. Can you hear me? Anyways, so I realized I need to prioritize sleep, nourishing my body, hydrating, moving my body, balancing rest, and working towards my goals. Rest was something that was really important because I was burnt out. And so then I just wrote down like some things that I needed to take out of my life and some things that I need to add into my life to make me feel good. This is going to be out of order of like what actually happened, but I literally don't even remember the last 5 minutes. I made a Pinterest board that helped me and inspired me for this whole rebrand per se. I also made a collage on Pinterest, which like incorporated every single part of like my brand or like how I want to present myself, not only to YouTube but just to the world. So I also used the break to plan for this podcast. So I planned the set, the branding, the title, the cover art, the layout, the segments, the topics, like everything. Oh yeah, I redecorated my room. That's how much I care. So let me just show you around the set. It's literally just my bed, and I have some pops of green, like this blanket, which is actually mint green. This, my Lana posters were actually not supposed to be part of it, but they just ended up in the frame, so thank you so much. I'm obsessed with Lana Del Rey. Okay, I have these cute pictures that I printed out from Pinterest. They're just like, pictures. I'm trying to like reflect my aesthetic. These plants, which I killed, they were alive when I left YouTube. Ugh. And they died. Because I overwatered them so much that they started growing mold and bugs. And now they're all dead. And then over here I have this Coca-Cola bottle. It does have cocaine. I painted cherries on this like a long time ago before I decided that I was going to make them my whole personality recently because I just love them. The aesthetic of them, like it's just so cute. I also got a cherry keychain for my purse and my keys. I'm just like obsessed with them. And it has these like flower lights in it. Isn't it so cute? Tell me it's cute. And then I have something that I'll show you later if you stick around. So I also wanted to rethink my approach to YouTube from kind of an outside perspective because I was not resonating with like anything that I was doing on YouTube. Like from literally December to now. So I was really putting out quantity over quality. Sorry about that. But yeah, my mind felt way clearer when I wasn't worried about making quote-unquote perfect videos. What I mean by that is like I expect myself to make perfect videos, which is impossible. That is like one of the reasons that I got burnt out from YouTube is because I was really expecting myself to be perfect, which is not possible. I could just focus on like how to make videos that I resonated with more, that you can resonate with. And I knew that if I reevaluated my approach, I could set myself up for success rather than just a cycle of burnout and feeling unmotivated. Oh, and I also have a cherry phone case. I reviewed what I was currently doing on YouTube that I wanted to continue or things that I wanted to stop doing, such as forcing myself to make videos I didn't like. So I reflected on what videos I want to make and how I'd present them, how I'd present myself, which includes things like my visuals, my editing, my thumbnails, titles, video concepts, my profile picture, which I changed, my intro, my outro, I changed my YouTube banner too, and I also changed like the playlists on my YouTube channel. Maybe you should just watch every single video I've ever posted just in case you missed anything. The videos that I make on here are still going to be similar to what I already make, but a little bit different, and I will tell you what that's going to be. And then I also got new editing software. I spent like hours trying to find something that works on this computer. Oh, I got a new computer. And so I also worked on making sure that I had more of a clear aesthetic and style, which also regards like outfits, makeup, hair, and just how I present myself in general for me, because I'm finding myself. That's like, you know, the whole point. And I also touched grass for the first time. It was amazing. I thought I might try touching grass today. It feels even better than I thought. Some of the ways that I set myself up for success were I wrote down why I even started doing YouTube in the first place. I made a photo album of like things that inspire me. I made a YouTube playlist of like other YouTubers or like other videos that inspire me, and I also made a video of myself giving inspiration. And I'm also just gonna like romanticize this whole process and make it feel less like an obligation, because I literally love making videos so much, but when I put pressure on myself and I'm like, I have to make this video perfect, it has to go up on this certain day, it has to be this, it has to be that, like it makes me just lose the love for it. What I did to romanticize making this episode, I listened to some edit audios. Imagine being this chronically online. But seriously, I literally have a playlist of edit audios that I like. But it just makes me feel really hot. Like, I can't help it. I did that while I was like doing my makeup and my hair. And then I put on this like elegant shirt. And then I also worked on my appearance. But before I say that, You do not have to change the way you look to be happy or accept yourself, but it just made me feel good, and I was doing it for myself. If you are like trying to quote unquote glow up or like make changes to your appearance, make sure that you got your priorities straight. Don't do it for male attention. Men are disgusting. You want their attention? When I feel like I look good, I feel better. Just doing things that make me feel good. Like, I re-dyed my hair. Having your hair go from black to blonde, it's worse than any traumatizing thing that's ever happened. I went to bed with wet hair and my bangs looked like a square. How did I allow my hair to get this way? The other night I woke up because I threw up in my mouth. Let's go to the store. Ah! And I cut my hair, and I just prioritize like taking care of my skin and hair because it just makes me feel so good when like I have a good hair day or like my skin is glowing. And then I also prioritize taking care of my mind, whether it was like journaling, especially like releasing and letting myself feel my emotions, because bottling up your emotions, don't do it. I got out of my reading slump. I was like drawing outside, just doing like creative things and spending time with people I love, or just like having a self-care day. I felt so amazing when I did all of that. Like, who knew that putting your phone down, going outside, and doing things that make you happy like actually helped your mental? I don't even know how to explain in words what I did on this break because it was just so amazing. I leveled up, bro. I also got away to my favorite place in the entire world. It really like solidified the reset because I kind of got away from my environment and then I came back and I was like, and when I came back, I deep cleaned my room with the intention of like getting rid of all of the old energy and bringing in the new energy. I also took a bath with like bubbles and flower petals, and for some reason my podcast notes say it was hashtag epic. What was I on when I was writing these? I literally have like always wanted to take a bubble bath with flowers, but that's like the most attainable thing. Like, I don't know why I didn't just do it. But that was another thing that solidified the reset. I felt like I was cleansing myself of anything horrible. Yeah, I just did things to like romanticize and like celebrate myself. And I just found like so much beauty. Also, spring was coming. Spring came, actually. Okay, spring. It was just like, this is like the perfect time for me to reset my whole life. I feel like a completely different person, and you might think I'm dramatic for saying that, but I don't care what you say. I just did so many good things for myself, and I feel literally on top of the world. I've also been trying to work on like not always thinking 20 years into the future, and I've been trying to focus on what I have instead of what I want. I've been like writing down what I'm grateful for every day and just trying to like put my phone down and sit for a second in the present moment and just like trying to ground myself more. I am really sweaty. I feel like I could just really take a step back and reevaluate everything that I was doing and how I was presenting myself without putting so much pressure on myself to really like kind of show up as a version of myself that I'm not. And going forward, let me tell you just kind of my plan for everything. I'm gonna be less strict with myself with my schedule for YouTube. There's not gonna be like a specific day that this podcast goes up or a specific day that my regular videos go up. It's just gonna be whenever I have the videos done. Like, I also am not gonna hold back any of my insufferable personality. I'm unleashing the beast. Maybe I shouldn't unleash the beast. There's not set days for podcast episodes or YouTube videos. One week it could be a podcast episode, the next it could be a YouTube video. I'm just gonna, it'll be a little surprise for you. So maybe you should subscribe so you can see the surprises. The videos I'm making now, you know, it could be like daily vlogs, not daily, in my daily life, just more like glimpses into my daily life, just basic vlogs. I love making vlogs. It could be travel vlogs also, or it could be like get ready with me. You'll see, honestly. Maybe stick around and find out. And I'm also gonna try to be more active on TikTok. My username is LOL, it's Ruth Ann. That's how I feel every day when I wake up. So yeah, you should follow me so that you can keep up with me. I don't know if you noticed, but I have this little jar here, and it says Afterthought on the top, and it has a little butterfly on it. I made this myself, obviously, and I painted it on the bottom. It looks kind of ugly, and then I also tied a little ribbon around it. But basically what this segment is going to be is I'm just going to read a little tidbit that I wrote. I don't remember, I wrote these like literally almost 2 months ago, but it could be a piece of advice, it could be a story, it could be anything. I'm so excited. Why did I use graph paper? What? Okay, I don't remember my intention for writing this, but it says something in life that made me who I am today. Getting bullied. Okay, it's because I realize how much recently that the way people treated me in elementary school and middle school affected me. It made me have social anxiety for my whole life. It literally made me like change the way that I approached any social situation. It made me fear judgment cripplingly. I don't know if I wrote that so that I would tell the story or something, but I went to a new school in 5th grade. That was a mistake because everybody was already friends. Like, it was 5th grade. They'd gone to elementary school forever together. They were like, "Oh, a new quiet kid. Let's obliterate her." It made me just think that everyone in the entire world, as soon as I met them, was gonna hate me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that little trauma dump. I promise the afterthoughts are not always going to be a trauma dump. A lot of them will be. Thank you so much for like being patient with me while I was gone. If you were, if not, I really hope you enjoyed this first episode. Make sure that you like and subscribe so that you can not miss any further episodes or any of my new videos for my rebranded YouTube channel. Share this with someone who would enjoy it for all I care. Yeah, I love you. I'll see you whenever I freaking see you. XOXO.